Welcome back to the GCN training channel. Today we've got a workout working on low cadence. Now this session is called leveling down, and as you can probably tell, we're going to do a lot of low cadence work, so really working on a low RPM. But before I get into too much about the session, get on your bikes, get those legs moving, and let's start our warm-up. It's going to start nice and slow, just 2 out of 10, so this should feel real nice and easy. Just spinning those legs like a walk in the park. So we're gonna do a nice progressive warm up, just getting a little bit harder each minute just to warm our body up, get that heart rate up so we're ready to hit the main session. It's got 15 seconds left, and then we're gonna go up to 5 out of 10. So 5 out of 10 received exertions. So you really should be having a bit of resistance on those pedals, pushing a little bit harder, and in 2, 1, so turn your resistance up, click down a few gears, and we're going to do another minute at 5 out of 10. So you can do this session on any type of bike. You can do it on the same kind of bike that I am now, just with a trainer. You can do it on a static bike, a gym bike, any sort of bike, as long as you can change up the resistance, change down a few gears, so you're really working on that low cadence. So another 30 seconds at this intensity, and then we're going to go up to 8 out of 10. So we're going to do 3 blocks of work today with a little bit of rest in between, and we're going to work in 30-second blocks. So every 30 seconds we're going to lower the cadence by 5 RPM. So we're going to be working at quite a low cadence by the end. So this is going to feel a little bit like a gym workout where you're really pushing on those gears. You can feel all of the muscles in your legs burning. So now we're up to 8 out of 10 RPM. So this is the last bit of warm up now. So you should really feel that heart rate getting up, getting a bit hot. The legs are waking up, and we're going to get ready for the session. So about now we want to look at 90 RPM, nothing too crazy, just a nice comfortable gear. After this, then I'm going to have a 2-minute rest, and then I'm going to get into the first set. This session is really good. It's 16 minutes long. We're not going to be sat here for hours, so if you're time crunched, this is a really good session to get done. So 15 more seconds at 8 RPM. Spin those legs nice and fast. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take it back. So lower that resistance. Nice and easy for 1 minute now. So we're going to be back at 2 out of 10. Like a walk in the park again. So we're going to start off. The first 30 seconds is going to be at 75 RPM. Now, this is great if you've got a bike computer and you can look at what RPM you're doing, what revolutions per minute you're doing. If you haven't, don't worry, you can still do the session. Follow along, follow my leg speed. Try and copy what I'm doing. I'll try and stick to the right leg speed. So we're going to be working at about 7 out of 10 effort level. So we aren't going flat out. We're still holding a nice consistent resistance. We're working quite hard. So in 10 seconds, we're going to get into the first one. So make sure you're ready. Ready to hit this first one. In 2, 1, into the first one. So 75 RPM. It's going to feel quite slow because we have been working at quite a high resistance to start. And try and hold that now. 30 seconds at this, and then we're going to lower it by 5. So I'm going to go to 70. 10 seconds left now. Get ready to change gear for the next one. In 2, 1, now we're at 70. 70 RPM, so get slower and slower each time. Nice. Feel those legs burning. You want to really work your glutes. Keep your heels down, your feet nice and flat. Hold a nice position on the bike. Don't be moving your body too much. Engage that core. Nice light grip on the bars. Bend the elbows a little bit. Nice position. Good work. I'm going to change down again. Now 65 RPM. 30 seconds at 65. Good work. Nice and slow. Remember, we're working 7 perceived exertion out of 10. Good work. In 3, 2, 1, we're changing down again. Even slower, 60 RPM now, so this should feel nice and slow. "20 seconds to go now. Good work. 10. And we're going to go down again. Going to go to 55 next. In 3, 2, 1. Change down. More resistance. Good work. 55 RPM now. Be nice and slow. Good work. Should really feel the burn now. 10 seconds to go. And we're going to go down one more. Really start to feel pretty tough now. This is going to be our last one before our little rest. Hand down again, 50 RPM. Good work. Nice position on the bike. 15 seconds to go now. Five seconds. Then we're going to have a nice 2-minute break. In 2, 1. There we go. Give your legs a little rest. I might have said a little lie there. We've only got 1 minute rest. But hopefully you're not too tired. So that's 1 set down and we've got 2 to go. So nice and easy now. Make the most of this 1 minute rest before we get into the next one. Spin those legs nice and easy. Hardly any resistance on the pedals. Keep it nice and smooth. 20 seconds now until we get into the next one. So you want to think about getting that gear ready. First one. In 10 seconds now. Just getting a bigger gear. So we're going to up that resistance. In 2, 1. Into our first 30 seconds at 75 RPM. So try and hold that 75. Hold it nice and steady. Halfway through this 75 now. Then we'll drop it down by 5 RPM. So into the second set already. 5 seconds to go now, come on. 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down to 70 RPM now, so even slower. You're gonna really feel that burn in the legs. It might take a bit of getting used to getting into the second set after you've done that first one. Legs are burning, you have a little rest. And your body just wants to stop, but we need to keep going. 10 seconds to go now. Good work. Keep nice and smooth on the bike. All that power through the legs, really pushing through. 2 seconds to go now. Into the next one, so 65 RPM, so a little bit more resistance. And changing it down, 65. Nice strong core, light grip on the bars. Don't be too tense in your upper body. Nice and relaxed, bend those elbows a little bit. Keep a nice position. 8 seconds to go now at 65 RPM. 3, 2, 1. Change it down to 60 RPM. A little bit more resistance each time. It's really getting into the thicker end of this session now. 60 RPM. Nice and slow with the legs. Make sure to stick to that cadence. Seven seconds to go now. 3, 2, 1. Another 5 been gone. 55 RPM now. Real nice and slow. Push all the power through the legs. Still feel quite uncomfortable now. This is not a natural cadence to sit at unless you're at, I don't know, a 20% climb. It'll feel uncomfortable, but it's going to make your legs so much stronger. It's really good to be able to adapt to lots of different cadences on the bike. And in 2, 1, going down to 50. The last 30 seconds of this set. 20 seconds to go now. Real nice and slow. 10 seconds to go. Really feel the burn now. Last push, come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We've got 1 minute, nice and easy again now. So into a nice easy gear, just chill. 1 minute, you can have a little freewheel. Stretch your back, stretch your legs, they're gonna be sore. But we're already into our last set now. Just got another 30 seconds and we're gonna go again. So exactly the same, but this is our last set. So let's make it a good one. Make sure to get everything out. Again, you still wanna be working quite hard. We are working at 7 out of 10 perceived exertion. Make sure to get some water on, even though it's a short session. Still want to be drinking. 8 seconds to go now, 7 seconds. Gonna get up back on it. So I'm gonna get back in my big ring. Get ready, and here we go. 7 out of 10, and it's 75 RPM. Let's go. Straight back onto it as quick as you can. Find that cadence and settle in. 75 RPM, again, you want to be working quite hard. 7 out of 10. If you're feeling good, why not ramp it up to 8? Treat yourself. 7 seconds to go now. You're going down again. In 2, 1, 70 RPM. So these lower cadence session works are really good to think about your position on the bike, think about how you hold yourself. Even though you're on an indoor trainer, you want to have a good position. You don't want to let that position go when you ride indoors. You want to concentrate on it, so when you go out on the road and you do these low gear efforts, you can just settle into it. It'll be second nature to you. Now we're at 65 RPM, 30 seconds here now. A little bit slower again. Feel like your legs are almost coming to a stop. Feel quite uncomfortable. But it's really good to be able to work at all these different cadences out on the bike. We've got quite a few high cadence sessions as well on the channel. So if you fancy working on high cadence work, why don't you go and check those out. In 2, 1, now we're down to 60. 60 RPM now. It's getting tough. Even though we're not going flat out, 10 out of 10, we're not going really high RPM. This is still a really hard session to do. So try and stick to that cadence as best as possible. I know it's hard, it's uncomfortable, it's not natural, but it's gonna make you stronger. In 4, 3, 2, 1, down to 55 now. So click down those gears, add a bit more resistance. Good work. 20 seconds left here now. Halfway through this. Good work. 55 RPM. Push down through the heels, use every muscle in your leg, nice strong core. 2, 1, down to 50. The last one, last little push. It's really gonna feel horrible now. Stay with it. Don't crack. Keep that cadence. Good work. Nearly halfway. 15 seconds to go now. Come on. We're nearly there. This is our workout done for the day. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, good work everyone. Nice easy gear. We've got 1 minute cool down. So just relax, spin those legs or whatever cadence you want. Really nice low gear. This is then just a walk in the park, cooling down. Relax, let those legs do what they want. Hopefully the burning will start to go. If you're burning in your muscles, it means that you've done the session right. So good work. Your heart rate should start to come down. It's quite a short cool down, so you might feel like you need a little bit longer on the bike, so feel free to stay on for that little bit longer if you fancy it. 15 seconds left now. Good work everyone. 10 seconds. Get off the bike, have a nice little stretch. Legs will be hurting. But good work today. That's the cool down over with. If you want to stay on, feel free to, but I'll see you in the next one.